Arnold Schwarzenegger was once the Governator, and we could have had a Terminator for an American president if they just changed that little old constitution thing. But alas, it was not to be.
He'll be back. Right.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
But it does seem that every day is Christmas in America at the moment. Well, at least for the newscaster and journalists. Almost hourly, Mr. Trump does something extraordinary. It has become so extraordinary, in fact, that a lot of Americans are calling for a man that Forbes has said is the top grossing actor a number of times. From wrestler to actor to motivational speaker, The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson, has been polled higher than Mr. Trump Tower himself for president.
The people's elbow.
The people's elbow!
One of The Rock's favourite quotes, with eyebrow raised. Be humble, be hungry, and always be the hardest worker in a room. If Mr. Johnson does indeed run for presidency in 3.5 years, we can but hope that he will carry that sort of work ethic into the White House.
So maybe Arnie could be vice president, and we could have Hercules and the Hercules in the White House. Or Arnie could shout at the president if they're running late, "Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!"
Okay, I'm off track now.
A little bit. But there is a special lady that we would love to vote for, given half the chance. June 3rd will now be Wonder Woman Day. She is now over 75 years old. Her solo film should be out in cinemas on June the 1st, and so it seems the perfect time to celebrate the Amazonian princess.
It does. In fact, reviews are already coming in for the Wonder Woman film for those lucky press peeps who have already seen Wonder Woman. And the word on the street is that the film will bring the DC film universe out of the gutter.
What? That's amazing news. Anywho, back to the princess. Over 2,000 shops and libraries will honour the celebration in some way, including distributing free copies of special edition comic book issues. One is aimed at older readers and another one is for her younger fans. This is not the first DC hero to have her own day. Superman has just a few days after Wonder Woman hits
Superman Day and Batman Day.
Batman Day's in September. We'll be celebrating Wonder Woman Day by dressing Raven up as Wonder Woman.
What?
What?
No.
Maybe playing Injustice 2 is the most fun. Can I be Harley?
Yes.
Somebody give me a hammer.
No.
And watch your playthrough of Injustice 2.
Yes, do that.
Right.
We'll be here. Aquaman may not have his own day yet, but he has acquired himself a Power Ranger. Whoa. Yes, the Black Ranger, Lou Dillon, has reportedly joined the cast. He will star as Merc, the leader of the Atlantean army. We will also get our first look at Amber Heard in her incredible costume as Mera. James Wan tweeted, "Lady Mary swept in from the sea. First day with the incredible Amber Heard." With this incredible picture,
so
we can tell that this is going to be a strikingly impressive film.
Strikingly impressive.
That's
your new catchphrase.
It's a new catchphrase.
It has been a weird week for the Flash news after false reports that Billy Crudup, who should be playing Barry Allen's father, was leaving, and then we found out that this was actually fake news. Fake news alert! And that he would be staying. I mean, he's in the Justice League trailer, and the Flash film just wouldn't make sense without him. Mm-hmm. So if he had decided to leave, that would have been a total headache for DC.
Totally.
Although they're probably used to that by now, right?
Probably. Anyway, the word in the backstreet is Back to the Future director Robert Zemeckis is the current frontrunner to direct Flash's solo film.
That's so cool.
Which is exciting because he directs classic films. Forrest Gump is also on his CV.
Forrest, run!
Life is not a box of chocolates though for Warner Brothers, who have been through 2 other directors already. That being said, they are not in a rush and want to get it right for a man or woman for the job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Needs the right person.
It does.
DC's Black Lightning also dropped a trailer this week. Despite being owned by CW, they have said that he will not be joining their Arrowverse. This is mostly due to filming locations, which make a 5-way crossover a logistical nightmare. Mm-hmm. Supergirl originally existed outside of the Arrowverse too, and she didn't join the family until the 2nd season, so who knows what the future may hold. Anyways, back to Black Lightning, played by Cress Williams. He is one of DC's first black superheroes.
Yep.
He has the power to harness and control electricity and rocks a really cool lightning suit that appears to help him channel his lightning.
Sorry. The trailer shows us how he used to be the hero who kept the streets safe, but after a particularly bad fight, he promised his wife and daughters to hang up his hero suit and become a principal. So 12 years later, a gang known as the 100 have taken the streets back, and they are no longer safe. When his daughter is threatened, he decides that it's time to come out of retirement and return to his crime-fighting roots. And his daughters appear to be discovering that they have powers of their own.
That's pretty cool.
Superhero families are the most fun families.
The most fun.
We don't actually know how long we'll have Black Lightning for because apparently it's a mini-series. I guess they want to see if it's a viable entity for them before they invest further.
Maybe.
Meh.
We have casting news coming in on New Mutants. It will be starring Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones and Anya Taylor-Joy from Split. Maisie will be playing Wolfsbane, a Scottish girl who is struggling to come to terms with her ability to transform into a wolf, whilst Anya will be Magic, a Russian sorceress who uses teleportation discs to travel.
Cool.
Magic is also the sister of Colossus, though.
Nice.
There have been some rumours that James McAvoy might be joining them to be Professor X.
Yeah.
But it has been confirmed on Twitter that he will not be part of this film. Which leads us to ask if New Mutants will be part of the main X-Men franchise. The filming schedule does cross over with Dark Phoenix, which could explain why James McAvoy is unavailable, though.
That is probably the reason.
Maybe.
Good sleuthing. And if you are feeling like there isn't enough Teenage Mutant Ninja X-Men in your life, we also have a trailer for The Gifted this week. Following the success with Legion, FX are launching another TV show set in the X-Meniverse. The series has a dystopian setting. The American government appears to be collecting people with mutant abilities like the Hero series. The Gifted follows a brother and sister played by Amy Acker and Percy Hayes White. They discover their mutant abilities, but the problem is their father, played by Stephen Moyer, is a Sentinel service agent.
No.
And his job is to lock up mutants.
Oh, that's too tragic.
Whoops. Eventually, the family seek refuge in an underground network of mutants.
It is there that we are introduced to, what's the plural for mutants? Like a group?
A boggle?
A gaggle?
A bibble?
A herd?
A hobble?
Parliament. Well, there are some new mutants. Sean Teal as Eclipse, Jamie Chung as Blink, Emma Dumont as Polaris, Blair Redford as Thunderbird. This is probably as close to a live-action X-Men evolution as we're going to get. So prepare your emotions accordingly, and this will be out on Fox.
I have no emotions. Tom Holland seems to be getting comfortable in his Spidey spandex as we brace ourselves to lose some Avengers in Infinity Wars. He said, Peter Parker is a character we see in the comic books as a 15-year-old boy and then a 35-year-old man. I don't know why I'm talking like that. So I have an idea of what I'd like to do, and I have pitched it, and it's already have been taken into the boardroom. It'll be really cool if it pans out because it means I will be Spider-Man for a long time.
Those are brave words for such a young actor.
Yes.
But if it works out, we could see all kinds of Spider-Man stories brought to the big screen.
Yep.
Such as his job at Horizon and his wedding.
How is
Spider
wedding? How exciting. Okay, so many of you will wince in pain when I mention Venom and a certain Spidey film. Yes, that was really hard to watch. But we finally have some light for the Dark character. The Dark Knight Rises star and Academy Award nominated actor / Tom Hardy will be playing Eddie Brock in Sony's upcoming R-rated Marvel film. I'm spitting.
Hardy has gone on record saying that he's a big Venom fan. So this is like Ryan Reynolds is to Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
And let's add some more news to this happy gravy train. Ruben Fleischer, director of the critically acclaimed and much-loved Zombieland, will direct Venom.
And to add even more gravy to the already overused
much gravy.
gravy train, Scott Rosenberg, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle writer, and Jeff Pinker, writer of Stephen King's Dark Tower, now turned movie, these two talents are scripting the film.
Back in March, everyone was talking about Netflix making an Assassin's Creed TV show. We've now heard that they're working on a Witcher TV series based on the globally popular fantasy saga from Polish writer Andrzej Skałowski, known collectively as the Witcher saga. Spakowski's 8 novels and story collection centre on witches, hunters who develop supernatural abilities at a young age to battle deadly monsters.
Andrzej Sapkowski will serve as a creative consultant on the series. Sean Daniel, The Mummy franchise, and The Expanse, and Jason Brown, The Expanse and partners at the Sean Daniel Company, are executive producers, along with a host of rather impressive talent.
So it does look like Netflix have faith in this fantasy and idea, and we will get to know...
We'll get at least two seasons.
Oh yeah,
because
with
it's
Netflix. Thanks goodness it's not gone to Fox.
Yeah. Thank
Netflix,
goodness.
can you please bring back Firefly as well?
It's about time they bring anything else back. So.
We could use a Firefly.
So, space, the already explored frontier.
Space,
The final frontier.
So we are getting a new Star Trek TV series pretty soon, and that will be on Netflix because everything is on Netflix. But that is not the space adventure we have for you today.
No, think Galaxy Quest / Star Trek / fart and innuendo jokes. Seth MacFarlane is gearing up for a trek across space, probably outer space, Fox announced this week. A new science fiction TV series called The Orville will air in the fall winter. The show will star executive producer and actor MacFarlane.
He did Family Guy and Ted.
As the commander of Starship, Adrienne Palicki
She was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
will portray MacFarlane's executive officer and ex-wife, and the ragtag crew rounding out the cast are much the same as the Star Trek bridge crew.
Yep. Fox said The Orville is a live-action 1-hour ensemble comedy drama set in 400 years in the future, and it follows the adventures of the Orville, a mid-level exploratory spaceship, as its crew, both human and alien, face the wonders and dangers of outer space, while also dealing with familiar, often humorous problems of everyday life.
Wow.
I'm super hyped for this, because Galaxy meets Family Guy. Sold!
More movie news, and probably not the good you were hoping for. Constantine Film, who you ask?
Who?
The German film company who owns the rights for Resident Evil, of course, film franchise. Yes, so with us now.
We were promised that the aptly named Resident Evil The Final Chapter was indeed the last film in the Resi live-action franchise.
Right?
It seems this is not quite the case, though. The franchise, already quite hated across the board, and by critics mostly, have earned around 1.2 billion. They like money, I guess.
Which is probably why Chairman Martin
Moskowski
confirmed at the Cannes Film Festival that the company is at work on a reboot. So it's a thing, and it's happening.
It is happening. So we're getting more of the Resi films, and Mamma Mia is getting a sequel.
What?
I'm going to go into my bunker.
Thanks so much to Warner Brothers UK for sending us Injustice 2 to play. We've had our hands on it for some time, and can quite honestly say that it is the most fun, so please check out our gameplay.
Yep.
Totally the most fun.
Apart from being the most fun, Injustice 2 has added a cornucopia of characters for you to play with. They've obviously brought back the favourites as well as some very interesting new add-ons. They also have a load more scheduled for release in the future with a season pass and DCCs. In fact, we already know that Starfire, Red Hood, and wait for it, Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero?
Yeah, will be joining the gang in the not too distant future.
Okay, so Zero may not be part of the traditional team, but with all the multiverse implicated in the story arc, it's not hard to see how this could come to be. In fact, the story is something that we should mention. Oh my goodness, it's so sad.
Really sad. Good story.
Emotional.
This game has so much more to offer than your simple skorpskitten donner, as my Afrikaans friends used to say in South Africa. And for all those who are saying, come again, it has much more to offer than kick, kill, and rarely kill. It has online, offline battles as the norm, an amazing, very emotional storyline.
So emotional.
You can upgrade your characters up the wazoo. In fact, why don't you tell us exactly what it has to offer, Gemma?
Okay, I'll do that.
Will you?
There's a massive roster of characters, a massive amount of gear to upgrade characters with, a massive storyline, a massive amount of costumes, even more than our costume collection, a massive new mode, the multiverse to carry on with after their campaign or during, a massive guild made to join and earn exclusive daily rewards, and a massive mobile app game. No, seriously, it's 1 gig, it's massive!
So it's a massive, and it's well worth your time and money. We recently had the privilege to sit down with developers from Bitmap Bureau, an independent game development studio. So you can see our exclusive interview for this coming this Friday as we chat to them about their games, 88 Heroes, and everything that makes them them.
And if you're a Patreon supporter, you can watch as Ruben takes on the team at Street Fighter style in an exclusive video just for you. That brings us to the end of this episode. And don't worry, we will be back. If you enjoyed this video or any of our others, please consider supporting us. We love films, we love games, we love making videos, and we love our amazing patrons. Andy and Naomi and Richard, it's because of you that we get to keep doing what we love and sharing content with everyone. We have some super fun content going up exclusively for patrons this week. And Andy, you're the winner. All the merchandise.
You get all these. It's really
all
cool.
The stuffs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
loads of giveaways.
So Wonder Woman,
Yeah?
I need to ask you a question.
Oh, interview time. I
Yeah.
like this.
So, there's been a lot of controversy about your armpits and why you shave them. Because